back to our NCAA football win total series. We are moving on to the SEC, and we're on to one of the newest SEC teams. We're on to Oklahoma. Oklahoma, if we go back to the Bob Stoops era, starting in 1999, has been solid. 1999, Bob Stoops 7-5, lost the Independence Bowl, but would win the national title the next year. They'd lose a national title game in 2008. He would leave after the 2016 season, going to bowl games the entire way. Lincoln Riley would show up, 12-2 his first year, made the playoffs 3 straight years, then a 9-2 2020, 10-2 in 2021. The 11th win came after Lincoln Riley resigned. Bob Stoops came back and led him to an Alamo Bowl win. That led to Brent Venables showing up. Brent Venables went 6-7 with the Cheez-It Bowl loss his first year in 2022. And in 2023, it started off pretty dang good. Opened up with a win against Arkansas State. Then they beat SMU, at Tulsa, at Cincinnati, Iowa State. They upset Texas and then beat UCF. They would stumble, though. They lost at Kansas by 5, then they lost it by 3 at Oklahoma State. They would rebound to beat West Virginia, BYU on the road, and TCU, but not make the Big 12 championship game because of that loss to Oklahoma State. And they would go to the Alamo Bowl, where they played Arizona and lost 38-24. It would end up being a 10-3 season for Brent Venables in his second season. When we look at this team, it's going to start with Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold was clearly going to be the starter this year. That's why Dillon Gabriel is gone. Pretty good mobility, great arm, lots of height around this guy to be great. They have good receivers. Starts out with Nick Anderson, averaged 21 yards per grab and 10 scores. Andrew Anthony's a pretty good player. They also bring in Deion Burks from Purdue, who had 7 touchdowns last year. They did lose their top receiver in Stoops. The big issue here, though, is going to be the offensive line. It's pretty much of an unknown. They bring in a lot of new people. They have Jake Taylor and Jacob Sexton on the tackles. They brought in a new center from SMU. They brought in a player from Washington and North Texas to play guard. Here's the major issue. There is almost no depth behind this offensive line. When we get to the schedule, you'll see how hard the end of the schedule is. That could come back and be a massive issue. Behind them, running back, they're going to have Gavin Sawchuk. They also don't have much depth there. Their second leading rusher, Tawee Walker, is off to Wisconsin. On defense, Brent Venables is always known as a great defensive coach, but his defenses haven't been great at Oklahoma so far. We look at, first of all, at Danny Stutzman at linebacker and Kip Lewis. They're 2 very solid linebackers. They have good depth at linebackers, so you have a solid rotation there. They also bring in TCU transfer Demonic Williams to go with Dejon Terry on that front line. The secondary, that's their key on defense. Very deep. They have Billy Bowman with 6 picks last year playing safety. They have Gentry Williams at corner, who had 3. Woody Washington's on the other side, broke up 7 passes last year. They've got a great defensive secondary. They just got to get a pass rush because those guys can't cover forever. Last year, when they got beat up through the air, they were 0-3. They were 10-0 when they didn't. That's as simple as that. So we look at the schedule, and it is one of the tougher schedules this year. It does open up manageable, though. August 31st, Temple, that will be a win. September 7th at home, Houston, that will be a win. September 14th, they play Tulane at home. That will be a win. And then September 21st, they host Tennessee. I do lean loss in that one. They finally hit the road September 28th. They're at Auburn. I lean win in that one. October 5th is their first bye of the year, and then it's rivalry time. October 12th, they play Texas in Dallas. I lean loss this year for Oklahoma. October 9th, they get South Carolina at home. That should be a win. October 26th, though, they're on the road to Ole Miss. I think that's going to be a loss on the road. November 2nd, they have Maine at home. That should be a win. And then the back 4 games are brutal. November 9th, they're at Missouri. Eileen lost in that one. They bye November 16th. November 23rd, they host Alabama. That will be a loss. And then they're at LSU to end the year. That will be a loss. Overall, I think this might be a 6 to 7 win team this year. Over under win totals, most of them are sitting at 7.5. We can get plus money on it though. We're going to take that. Under 7.5 is sitting at plus 110 at Caesars, and that is going to be our pick in this one. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next time.